This is a very easy 6-row repeat fan grid pattern. It is sort of like a subway tile grid where the fans are staggered, and it is only a 6-row repeat because of the staggering. It really is a 3-row repeat, but we're going to do 6 rows because I'll show you how to get the fans in between the other fans. But it is so pretty. One of my favorite fan patterns, beautiful for a blanket, for a table runner, for a bedspread, for anything really. This will be a beautiful cardigan as well. For this stitch pattern, we will create a foundation chain in a multiple of 8 plus 2. So chain however long you want, as long as it's a multiple of 8, and at the very end, add 2 stitches. I will chain for this sample a foundation chain of 34, which is 32, a multiple of 8, plus 2. I will see you at the end of the foundation chain. This is my foundation chain of 34 stitches. I'm going to work the first repeat row into the back bumps of the foundation chain, but you should feel free to either work in the back bumps or to work directly through the chains themselves. Whichever one is totally fine, whichever you prefer. To start the first row repeat, I'm going to chain 1, turn the work to the bump side, and I'm going to place 1 single crochet in each of the first 4 bumps. So the first 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip 2 stitches and then place 6 single crochets, 1 in each of the next chains. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, and place 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, place 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I created a foundation chain of 35, so I'm reaching the end of my row, but if you've chained longer, keep going. We're going to keep going the same way. So chain 3, skip 2, single crochet for 6, but at the end of your row, you should have 4 left after skipping 2, so I'm chain 3, skip 2, and I'm going to place my last 4 single crochets in this first repeat row. At the end of this row, we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. This is what you should have so far, or something like it. See these little chain 3 spaces? Mine is a little bit twisted up, but we're going to be working into those chain 3 spaces in our second repeat row. For the second repeat row, we have a chain 2 already. That counts as a half double crochet. It is not a real half double crochet, but it counts as one. So we're just going to think of it as if we're starting the row with a half double crochet. Now we're going to find the chain 3 space, and we're going to place 10 double crochets into that big chain 3 space. This is a really fun stitch pattern because it's not very fiddly. You're mostly working into these giant chain spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is your first fan. Now we're going to skip over all of those single crochets in the previous row, and we're going to go directly into the next chain 3 space with 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is your second fan. We're going to keep going down the row. We're going to skip all of those single crochets in the previous row and work directly into the next chain 3 space, 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is your third fan. You're going to keep working this way all the way down your second repeat row as long as you've chained and worked your chain 3 spaces. I have one more chain 3 space left in this second repeat row, so we're going to go ahead and skip all of those single crochets in the previous row and place 10 double crochets right into that next chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I am ending my second repeat row with 4 fans. They're so pretty. I love making fans. And I'm going to wrap up this row by finding the last stitch in this row. I'm going to place a half double crochet in the last stitch in this row. And you should have something that looks a little bit like this. To start your third repeat row, we are going to turn our work. Now, there are a couple of ways to go about this. You can go ahead and chain 3 to represent the first double crochet in this row, but what I prefer to do, because I'd like a little bit more structure, I'm going to stack 2 single crochets. I'm going to make 1 single crochet and then insert my hook into the left side bar of that single crochet and make another single crochet right on top of it. And that is the height of a double crochet. So that represents a double crochet starting this row. And then I'm going to chain 2. Now I'm going to skip the first 3 double crochets in that fan, and I'm going to place 1 single crochet into each of the next 4. So 1, 2, 3 we're going to skip, and then we're going to place a single crochet at the top of the 4th double crochet, a single crochet at the top of the next double crochet, a single crochet at the top of the next double crochet, and a single crochet at the top of the next double crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip the last 3 double crochets in that fan, and there's this big space here. It's not exactly a chain space because we did not chain in between the fans. It's just a space. We're going to place a double crochet right into that space. We're going to chain 2, skip the first 3 double crochets in the next fan, and place a single crochet into each of the next 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 2. Find that space in between the 2 fans. Place a double crochet right into that big space. Chain 2. Skip the first 3 double crochets in the next fan. Place 1 single crochet at the top of each of the next 4 double crochets. Chain 2. Place a double crochet into that space in between the 2 fans. Chain 2. Skip the first 3 double crochets in the next fan and place 1 single crochet on top of each of the next 4 double crochets. Chain 2. Skip the last 3 double crochets in that fan and place a double crochet at the top of the first stitch in the previous row, which for me is right here. To end this row, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to turn our work, and you should have something so far that looks a little bit like this. To start your 4th repeat row, we are going to be working into this chain 2 space. We're going to place 1 single crochet in that chain 2 space, and then we're going to place a single crochet on top of each of the single crochets from the previous row. So there are 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to place a single crochet in the next chain 2 space, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then place a single crochet into the next chain 2 space. So we're creating another chain 3 space, which is what we've just made right here. Now place a single crochet on top of each of those 4 single crochets in the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a single crochet in that chain 2 space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Place a single crochet in the next chain 2 space, and place a single crochet on top of each of the 4 single crochets in the previous row. Now you're at another chain 2 space, place a single crochet into that chain 2 space, chain 3, a single crochet in the next chain 2 space, a single crochet on top of each of the next 4 single crochets from the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4. A single crochet into the chain space, which was a chain 2 space. Chain 1, a half double crochet into the top of that last stitch in this row. This is what you should have at the end of your 4th repeat row. To start the 5th repeat row, we are going to start with a simulated double crochet at the end, and what I'm going to do is you can chain 3 for this double crochet, or as I like to do a stacked single crochet. So a single crochet and then single crocheting right on top of that single crochet. Next we have a chain 1 space right here that we made in the previous row, and we're going to place 5 double crochets right into this chain 1 space right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is your half fan that sits at the end of this row. Now we're going to find the next chain 3 space. We're going to skip over all of those single crochets, and we're going to place 10 double crochets into that chain 3 space, just like you did in that second row. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now you've made 1.5 fans. We're going to skip over all of those single crochets in the previous row. We're going to find the next chain 3 space. We're going to make 10 double crochets into that chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now you've completed 2.5 fans in this row. Isn't it so pretty? Next, we're going to do what we've been doing this whole time. We're going to skip over all of those single crochets, and we're going to find the next chain 3 space and place 10 double crochets right into that chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 3.5 fans in this row. And I am at the end of my row. I don't know if you're at the end of your row, but I'm at the end of my row. So what I'm going to do is in this last chain 1 space at the end of the row, I'm going to place 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To end this row, I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. Let's take a look at what we have so far. So now we have 2 rows of fans, and you can see that they're staggered. So you have the bottom row, so that was the second repeat row. You have 4 fans, then you have 2 rows in between, and then you have half a fan, and then 3 fans, and they're in between the 4 fans from the first fan row. To start this row, we're going to place 1 single crochet in the first 3 double crochets, so 1 each at the top of each of the first 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 2. We're going to place a double crochet into that space in between the fans, so this space right here, right into that big space. chain 2. We're going to skip the first 3 double crochets of that fan and then place 1 single crochet at the top of each of the next 4 double crochets of that fan. Chain 2, place a double crochet into that big space in between the 2 fans. Chain 2, skip the first 3 double crochets of the next fan and place 1 single crochet at the top of each of the next 4 double crochets. Chain 2, place a double crochet into that space in between the 2 fans. Chain 2, skip the first 3 double crochets in the next fan, place a single crochet at the top of each of the next 4 double crochets. Chain 2, double crochet into this big space in between the 2 fans. Chain 2, skip the first 3 double crochets of this last half fan and then place 1 single crochet at the top of each of the next 3 double crochets until you get to the end of the row. And that is it for your 6 repeat rows. Let's take a look at what we have. So that is the basic 6-row repeat pattern. If you want to continue working, just start all over again from the first row repeat, and you can rewind this video. I have the timestamps in the description box. You can just click on the timestamps to go back. So you would just start again and you would do the first row again up here. You would do a row of fans on top of that, the 2 rows in between, and then you would just keep going and they would naturally stagger. So you would get the full fans, half fan, full fan, full fan, full fan, half fan, and just keep going like that. That is it for this tutorial of this extra pretty fan grid pattern. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more stitch pattern tutorials, and I will see you in the next video.